Very cool. So I was down in the secret forest today. Let's rewind. How's everybody? Good morning. How's your day? It's beautiful here in downtown Atlanta. If you can hear that motorcycle revving. So earlier today, a hawk came, landed in my tree. I happened to have the camera, my phone on the gimbal, so I pointed up at the hawk, and then I missed seeing him fly away, but you could see him like whoop dip out of the tree, which is kind of cool because I was like, all right, I can't see it, but I'll catch it on film. All right, so I went down to the secret, super secret nude forest, and I remember there was this hot water heater. I've been wanting to work with sheet metal. We haven't quite made a trip to the steel shop in a while, so I didn't have any sheet metal, and I was like, oh, there's a hot water heater in the secret forest. I kind of set it together. This is what your hot water heater looks like, right? And if you rip off this layer, this one's a little sharp, but if you rip off this layer, kind of thin whatever sheet metal, and then this is what, this is what's standing up in your, wherever your hot water heater is, and it has that shroud around it. And it has this insulation on it, and I took the insulation off, and I cut the sheet metal right out of the center of it, right? Do you guys see where there would have been sheet metal, which is this over here. And this is actually quite thick. This is probably 16 gauge, maybe even 14 gauge, so it's kind of nice. And we can pull these tie downs off now, but I use these tie downs to create a cone. Ooh, see that pressure? Watch out, you don't want to breathe that. Not you, just me, because it was like coming right up out of the thing. Alright, so what I did was, I took the round sheet metal, we'll use this one for an example, hope I don't cut myself. I put the ratchet straps on, and I slowly bent it around like this, right? This one's pretty easy. That thicker steel, not so much. Okay? You stay over there. Then, I cut these two pie shapes out of it, which gets us to where we are now. So, I put a nut, a wing nut, and a bolt on it, so that the top is little, and the bottom is big. Right? Can everyone see that? Okay, so next I found this rim. Had a tire on it. I ripped the tire off. Go off my morning coffee cups that fell out of the trash can because of the wind. Cool. I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to make quality videos one of these days. Okay, so I got this rim. Now what's important about rims is they're actually really heavy. This is a lot of steel in a rim. If I wanted to buy that much steel, it would be kind of expensive. Rims are also hardened steel. They're not mild steel like I would buy at my... You can get hardened steel at the steel shop. Ask a knife maker how much those little blanks are they get. There's a word for them, I forget what it is, but hardened steel is quite expensive, so rims are hard steel. Why is that important? Hard steel takes abuse. Now, if I was to take this cone shape and set it right over the rim, with a little bit of love, I hadn't actually tried that, I was just hoping it fit right. What does that look like? So now, I'm going to spin it around. I'm going to rock it this way a little bit so it sits backwards. Right? I'm going to get my compass out. Compasses are awesome for metalworking. And this is just a rough example, but it actually goes higher. And I'm going to strike that arc on there. Should I draw it in darker line? What does that look like to you?
I'm not sure.
Think southwest.
I don't know. You gotta tell me.
A Chiminea.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course. I was overthinking that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you come back here to the other side, and you see where that notch is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me put on gloves. This steel's a little bit sharp.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done this yet, so if I run into problems, everyone please bear with me. It's designed to be opened up like that. Oh, right? And then,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Does everyone get that part?
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Now, this will have to be hammered in, so I'll just take... I need to roll a stump from the neighbor's house, so I have a hammering surface, but you want a small hammer. I actually have one smaller than this, and you want little taps. You don't want big taps. You're not beating it, you're just... And it actually, on a molecular level, the tapping changes the steel. That's what the difference between steel and iron and all the folding and hammering is it actually changes it, but it curves it ever so slightly around so that I can get a good lap joint right there, right? I can use clamps while I do that. The reason I put this butterfly there is because now I need to turn this over and start hammering a bubble into it, right? Right, because the chiminea would have a bubble, right?
Yeah.
So what do? I decide how big the mouth is going to be. The mouth is going to be up a little. Don't think of the mouth as all the way to the bottom. The mouth is going to be about here. But I cut all the way up from the center, and then I start bending this little flap like this. Bending this one out. Right? And I create, oh, there's my little drawing. And then I create the chiminea mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to cut the back because I made a cone. The chiminea wants to lean forward, but I want the chiminea to lean back. So that's what the rim is a spacer. I'm also going to use the rim in the chiminea, but I'm going to lean it this way, right? So that the seam is on the back. So you can see it. It won't be hidden, but it will be, the front will kind of have this cool shrunken look to it, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to, before I cut the hole, what I have to do is take the rim and put it in. Now, if I had the thing to drop it on, I just go like that.
Uh-huh.
Right? And then the rim is going to open my gap. Whoops, that's a little too far. That sets the circle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come around and I make a crease right where that is, right? And then I start to make a round bowl.
Yeah.
So the traditional chiminea smokestack, kind of mid-century modern looking, right? Like the ones everyone sees. But then instead of just going with that modern look, I'm going to roll out the chiminea bowl. That's where we're at today.
So cool. So creative.
Sorry. I need to buff. So what you guys don't want to watch me do is the next part is I'm going to take the grinding wheel and just grind off all the grossness.
Mm-hmm.
So next time you see this, it's going to look a little bit more like it should be a chiminea.
Awesome.
And then the ratchet straps look kind of messy, but you see how they help me squeeze that together, right?
Yep.
And I still have to kind of step on it to get it, see how it's oval? I still want it to be a little bit rounder. So I'm going to have to, work on that a little bit, but you guys get the idea. I don't want to do that until I have that welded, or else it'll move down here, right? So first I have to get this tacked up, or just get another bolt in it. Bolts are great placeholders for bending projects. because then I can unbolt it if I need to get my hammer in there, and then I just roll it back around and bolt it back up. But in the next 2 days, this is going to be a chiminea. Now, my only question is, originally I was making a wood-burning stove for my shop. I figured there'd be a pipe in there, right? And for a smokestack, and I was going to use this to make a little wood-burning stove right out here so I could go out and warm up. And then I thought, oh, Miss Bain probably is going to be like, I need a fireplace too. And I was going to, so then I was like, all right, I'll make the chiminea. The wheels started turning, and the chiminea got all the attention, and I'm still out here in the cold, right? But you know, sometimes you gotta love someone enough to. All right, so that brings us to. I only have one rim. Where are the rims in there? Do I cut the rim in half to use half on mine and half on hers? And again, the point of the rim is that really thick, really hard steel makes a good bottom for a pit that rusts out in one season, right? It gets bent, it gets hot, it just rusts through. That's not going to happen with the rim. I mean, it might happen, but it's not as likely. So that's why that is cool. It also holds heat because it's nice and thick and heavy, and it gets hot, and it holds that heat. Okay.
Awesome.
You have anything to say?
I can't wait to see the next part. But we'll come back. It's pretty inventive. Or innovative. Both. Cool. You got any last words?
No, we're good.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.